Now, who will succeed Jurgen Klopp as the next Liverpool manager? It's been the question ever since Klopp announced he's stepping down at the end of the season. There are plenty of potential candidates, but Liverpool know how important it is to get their succession plan right. And here at Sky Sports News, we've been taking an in-depth look at the names who could be under consideration. How are Liverpool going to play this? Very complicated, very big deal.
Yeah, and I spoke to somebody who used to work at the club very high up, gave a great zinger line. He said, there are very many good managers out there, but not very many good Liverpool managers. Getting that fit right for this fresh journey they're on is so important. But Liverpool do possess one of the most esteemed research departments in football. They've been running through candidates. They continuously do that anyway. So the dossiers and the main part of the homework will be done. But the club are going to be respectful to Klopp, to the ambitions of the current team, because there's so much on the line for them that they can still win to end this era with silver linings. And they also have to be respectful to their preferred candidate and the state of play he's in with his current team.
If you ask most of the fans, their preferred candidate is Javi Alonso and has been since the moment Klopp left. How much does emotion play a part in the fact that he's so high in everybody's thinking? Because presumably he played no part for Liverpool.
No. And the fact that he does already have an established bond with the club, so he understands the people, the place, the city, what it means to represent Liverpool, is an advantage. But we are talking about, to borrow Klopp's own words, the standout manager of the next generation. What he's done in the dugout in a short space of time is remarkable. He took Real Sociedad B back to the Segunda Division for the first time since 1961-62. Bayer Leverkusen, he goes in and he quickly transforms them into an unbeaten, tactically supreme machine. 32 games without defeats in all competitions. They're in the semi-finals of the German Cup, last 16 of the Europa League. The last team to set a greater pace at the top of the Bundesliga was Pep Guardiola's Bayern Munich. So it shows you the construction and transformation job he's doing there.
It will be fascinating if he does come, because his Leverkusen team don't play exactly the same way that Klopp's Liverpool play.
No, and a lot of people think that that's one of the negatives. But actually, if you look at it, while Bayer do resemble Manchester City, they like to dominate possession, short passing game, patient build-up. His Real Sociedad B team was actually a lot more direct. So already we've seen in the two clubs he's been at, the ability for him to adjust and adapt. But more than that, we actually see it in games and when he's facing up to different opponents. And the great example of this was the 3-0 masterclass against Bayern Munich. Bayer did not dominate the ball. They dominated the space and they completely ran that game without the ball. It shows you how clever he is and how quick he is to change his methods.
If you talk to some fans, you'd think it is a done deal, that he's definitely coming, but there's many a slip.
Yeah, there's obviously the fact that Bayer are on the cusp of making history. So Liverpool have to be respectful of that. He's also so early into his project there at Bayer that the club feel like they can convince him to stay. Although, can he really turn down this opportunity at Liverpool? The other complication is Liverpool will not be the only big club knocking at Alonso's door, as our colleagues from Sky Germany will tell us.
He would like to continue with Bayer Leverkusen and play in the Champions League, doing the next step, because he doesn't have the need like to be now the top manager from a top club. But obviously, if Liverpool comes, if Bayern Munich comes, he will have a think about it. And he has an aura, we say in Germany, he has like a special charisma. He is ready to be a top coach for a top club.
So if it's not him, it might be this man, Roberto Di Zerbi. Why is he in the frame?
Well, as Pep Guardiola termed him, one of the most influential managers of the last 20 years. Di Zerbi massively outperforms his resources. Brighton have the second lowest wage budget in the Premier League, yet they are able to play like Manchester City. They lionize the ball like them, but only with greater intensity and speed to their game. How is that even possible? What he's also shown is he's got a magnetic personality. So he takes players on this journey and he can convince them of his ideas and how to implement them quickly. Now, if you look at it, he'll get great testimony from Adam Lallana, James Milner, Alexis McAllister. He's a very good manager, and the kind of football he plays actually gets applause from other coaches. They're watching Brighton and thinking, this is one of the most fascinating, tactically advanced teams in world football.
What about another Premier League manager, Thomas Frank at Brentford? Because they do play a style of football that's not dissimilar from the way Liverpool try and play.
Yeah, if you're looking for a stylistic match in the numbers to what Liverpool do, the data will point you to Thomas Frank's Brentford. They are as direct, they press as intensely, same speed to their game. They also switch the play almost as much as Liverpool. They're actually the closest in that metric. Now, Frank's proved he's a very good manager. He built an attacking unit for the Championship, changed that to a defensively solid, effective side to consolidate their Premier League status. But the question is, can he operate without Brentford's slick operation? They're so well-oiled in every regard. And also, can he replicate what he's done in a totally different sort of environment with greater scrutiny, pressure, expectations? Lots of question marks there.
Well, one man who is operating at a higher level in the league with expectations is Ange Postecoglou, and he's had the expectations that comes with being a manager in Glasgow. When we did our poll, and the early results an hour or so ago showed that Ange Postecoglou was a clear second behind Xabi Alonso, and he still is, with 10% of the votes. Javi Alonso, 85%. Postecoglou was asked about it at the weekend. He kind of laughed it off, was mildly irritated. He didn't actually say, no, I'm not doing it, but he's not, is he?
No, Postecoglou is an interesting one, because if the timing had been different, he would have definitely been a seriously strong candidate, because he ticks so highly on all Liverpool's metrics, not just in terms of what they're looking for stylistically, but what they're looking for from a communicator, from a representative of the club. But while him being at Tottenham has only solidified the fact that he is a very good manager that works in the Premier League, that his methods translate, that he can communicate them quite effectively to a side, he is also Tottenham's manager, which means he is very hard to get. And then he's also a tricky sell to the Liverpool fan base, because they want somebody who feels like he belongs to them.
So interesting. Thanks very much, Melissa. If you want to have a look at Melissa's full article on the Sky Sports website, it's really good article, and there's some other candidates that we haven't had time to talk about there who Melissa looks at there as well. Jurgen Klopp could still win 4 trophies in his last season, the first of which is up for grabs this Sunday as Liverpool face Chelsea in the EFL Cup final. It comes to you live from Wembley on Sky Sports Football from 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon.